Hello there, folks. Tonight, we're diving headfirst into the bizarre and unsettling world of deepfakes. Buckle up, because things are about to get weird. Imagine a video so convincing, so realistic that you'd swear it's real. Except it's not. That's the magic, or rather the danger of deepfakes. They're like those carnival mirrors, except instead of stretching your face, they can rewrite reality. Deepfakes are videos, audio clips, or images manipulated by artificial intelligence. They can make anyone appear to say or do things they never did. It's like Photoshop on steroids, only with videos. And let me tell you, the results can be both hilarious and terrifying. Remember that time Tom Cruise suddenly became a TikTok magician? Or when your dear old granny started rapping like Nicki Minaj? Yeah, those were deepfakes. Harmless fun, maybe. But what happens when this technology falls into the wrong hands? That's when things get really scary, because deepfakes have the power to erode trust, spread misinformation, and even incite violence. They can ruin reputations, manipulate elections, and tear apart the very fabric of our society. So, yeah, we need to talk about this. Now, before we descend further into this digital house of mirrors, let's take a quick peek behind the curtain. How do these deepfakes even work? Well, imagine a super smart computer program that's obsessed with faces. Like, really obsessed. This program, powered by something called artificial intelligence or AI, devours millions of images and videos. It analyzes every detail, every nuance, every facial expression. It's basically going to AI film school, learning how to mimic human faces with astonishing accuracy. Once it masters the art of facial mimicry, it can then paste one person's face onto another's body. Think of it like a digital transplant, but instead of organs, we're talking about your entire face. And the scariest part? As AI technology keeps getting smarter, deepfakes are becoming increasingly difficult to detect. Early deepfakes were clunky and obvious. Think awkward lip syncing, weird blinking patterns, and faces that look like they were melting. But today's deepfakes? They're getting so good, they can fool even the most discerning eye. Okay, so we've established that deepfakes exist and they're getting scarily good. But how are they actually being used in the real world? Well, like any tool, deepfakes can be used for good or evil. Let's start with the less terrifying stuff. Hollywood, always eager to push the boundaries of special effects, has already embraced deepfakes. Remember that scene in the latest superhero movie where they de-aged the actor to look like his younger self? Deepfake magic, my friends. And hey, who needs expensive actors when you can just deepfake anyone you want? Imagine a future where you can watch Marilyn Monroe star in a brand new rom-com, or have Elvis Presley serenade you on your birthday. Cool, right? But now let's talk about the dark side. Because while deepfakes might seem like harmless fun in the realm of entertainment, their potential for malicious use is deeply concerning. And nowhere is this more evident than in the world of fake news and misinformation. Deepfakes are the ultimate tool for scammers and con artists. Imagine getting a frantic video call from your grandchild, tears streaming down their face, begging you to send money because they're in trouble. You'd do anything to help, right? But what if it's not actually your grandchild? What if it's a scammer using a deepfake to exploit your love and trust? That's the terrifying reality of deepfakes. They can be used to create highly convincing phishing scams, tricking people into handing over sensitive information or money. And it's not just individuals who are at risk. Businesses and even governments are vulnerable to deepfake attacks. Imagine a deepfake video of a CEO announcing a fake merger, causing stock prices to plummet, or a deepfake audio clip of a world leader declaring war, potentially sparking international conflict. These scenarios might sound like something out of a dystopian sci-fi movie, but the scary truth is, they're well within the realm of possibility. As deepfakes become more sophisticated and easier to create, we can expect to see a surge in their use for malicious purposes. Section 5. Deepfakes in politics, where truth goes to die. Alright folks, let's talk about politics. Because if there's one arena where deepfakes have the potential to wreak havoc, it's the already messy world of political campaigns and elections. Imagine a deepfake video surfacing online just days before a crucial election. The video shows a candidate making inflammatory remarks, engaging in illegal activities, or basically doing anything that could completely derail their campaign. Now, even if the video is debunked as a fake, the damage is already done. The seed of doubt has been planted, and in the hyper-partisan world we live in, it's almost impossible to completely erase that doubt. This is the real danger of deepfakes in the political arena. They don't just spread misinformation, they erode trust in our institutions and in each other. And it's not just about elections. Deepfakes can be used to smear the reputation of political opponents, incite violence and unrest, or even influence public opinion on critical issues. In a world where seeing is believing, deepfakes have the power to warp our perception of reality and undermine the very foundations of democracy. Section 6. Who's behind the curtain? Meet the deepfake puppet masters. So who are these digital puppeteers pulling the strings of the deepfake world? Well, it's a mixed bag really. On one end of the spectrum, you have tech-savvy pranksters and amateur enthusiasts, creating deepfakes for fun, profit, or just to see what they can get away with. Then there are the more nefarious actors like organized crime rings using deepfakes for sophisticated phishing scams and financial fraud. And of course, we can't forget about nation-states using deepfakes as a weapon of disinformation and propaganda to sow discord and undermine their enemies. But here's the thing. Deepfakes are becoming increasingly easy to create. You don't need a degree in computer science or access to expensive equipment anymore. There are apps for that now. And that's what makes this technology so dangerous. It's no longer confined to the hands of a select few. It's out there in the wild, and anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection can potentially become a deepfake artist. Section 7. Fighting back, spotting the fakes in a world of illusions. So with all this talk of doom and gloom, is there any hope? Can we win this battle against deepfake deception? Well, it's not going to be easy, but we're not defenseless. First and foremost, we need to arm ourselves with the knowledge and skills to spot these fakes. Look for telltale signs like unnatural blinking, flickering around the edges of the face, or audio that doesn't quite match up with the lip movements. And when in doubt, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. But we can't just rely on our own eyes and ears. We need technology to fight technology. That's where deepfake detection software comes in. These programs use advanced algorithms to analyze videos and images, looking for the subtle inconsistencies that betray a deepfake. Of course, as deepfake technology gets more sophisticated, so too will the detection tools. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, but there's hope that AI can be used for good, to help us spot the fakes and protect ourselves from the dangers of deepfakes. Section 8. The future of trust. Can we survive the deepfake apocalypse? So, what does the future hold? Are we all doomed to live in a world where we can't trust our own eyes and ears? Well, it's not going to be easy. Deepfakes pose a serious threat to our society, our democracy, and even our sanity. But we're not powerless. By raising awareness, developing detection tools, and enacting sensible regulations, we can mitigate the risks and protect ourselves from the worst of deepfake deception. We need to start by educating ourselves and our children about the dangers of deepfakes. We need to be critical consumers of information, always questioning what we see and hear online. And most importantly, we need to have faith in our own judgment. Deepfakes might be able to manipulate our senses, but they can't control our minds. As long as we remember that, we can navigate this brave new world of digital deception without losing ourselves in the process. Section 9, and finally, that's it for tonight, folks. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to say about the fascinating and frightening world of deepfakes. Just remember, in a world where seeing is no longer believing, we need to be more vigilant, more discerning, and more skeptical than ever before. Stay safe out there, and don't believe everything you see on the internet.